when you would have made that shift from an offline school to online school, I'm sure you must have had certain thoughts about it. If you can let us know, what were your thoughts when you shifted from an offline school to an online school, and what do you think about it now?
Yeah, actually, previously we were in Mumbai and we were into a nice school, and then we had to shift here in Pune. So we enrolled our children into a very nice school here also, like in our vicinity itself, and we were paying like huge amount for it. Okay, and then suddenly the COVID came and that school became online. So now everything was kind of exposed. The teachers were good, but then not that much. I mean, it was okay. It was like a school. What we expect in a school is like, not too much of personal attention, like whole lot of people, then you have to go for the tuitions and all. So this is your idea. So we were okay with it, and my children were doing quite, I mean, they adapted to online learning very well. That's what I felt during that time only. And so my husband started searching for online school because we were not sure about the future of this. I mean, like, uh, there was a time when we did not know when the school will open and everything. And so we thought of, shifting to online school. And then we found out this Cyboard School. And when we started with online, for my kids, then the main thing which we found were that my kids, it was no more a school, it was like a private tuition. So much of personal attention I got, because what I personally feel is, in a classroom there are too many students to handle for a teacher. Okay, and it is very difficult. Even I was, I'm into little bit of teaching field, so I understand it is very difficult when there is too much of chaos, the teacher is not able to manage. But in this, what happens, the teacher is really close to you. It's like a private tuition kind of a thing. And I had to take a lot of studies before, but since I have joined Cyboard School, it has become very easy for me, because even if I don't pay that much of attention, they are studying by their own, they are understanding the concept, they're asking their teacher, they have a different rapport with their teacher itself. So what is the main intention of education is like, I mean, school is like basic education, their concept should be clear, and that is absolutely sorted in Cyboard School. Like, not just one or two teacher, all the teachers are good. And this is really, I mean, it is the main thing we are still hooked on, like, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. These are really kind words. And I think for me, sitting in this position of a school administrator as the head of the school, I always emphasize on one thing: you can learn from anywhere. We are in a world where we can learn from anywhere. So the role of teachers has completely changed. It's not about teachers, it's actually about guides, it's about mentors now. So only if I can connect with you as a child, I would learn. If I feel anything repulsive towards you, then
Mm-hmm.
I will not learn. So generally, when we talk about our school timings, I think there were so many children who hated math. There were so many children who hated social science at that point of time, and it was not just because of the subject. I believe it was
Yes,
more
ma'am.
to do with how they were being taught. you know
Correct.
so I was very clear on this, that I cannot have this scenario in my school. We all have gone through it, so it's better to learn out of it. So uh, you know now when you know that the offline schools have opened, it's been almost 2 years now. The children will be walking to us in the fourth year, in the coming
Mm-hmm.
session. Have you ever had any thoughts of going back? Or have you ever had any thoughts which wherein what's that comparative that you draw between the two that can keep you with us or can take you back?
Okay. So yes, of course we thought. Why did we think? Because only because of the social connection. Like, there is a peer pressure, there is a pressure from the relatives and your neighbors, that your students, I mean, your children are sitting at home and learning, rest all the children are going. And even my kids, for some time they used to feel, oh, there is sports day, there is something so much interesting going on in the offline school, so we want to go, but then they don't want to leave the teachers here. The comfort level has been developed. And one more important thing, ma'am, the thing is that before my kids were enrolled into really good school near our area. And we have seen the teachers teaching. That's again coming back to that point, and I have interacted with the parents who are still there in that school. The teachers keep on changing, so there is no link between teacher and children. The fees is the same, and there is no connection, because teachers are literally changing 6 months. They're getting good pay, they're going. So this is happening in the offline school. I don't know why, but this is the case everywhere, at least in our area. And the time is saved, ma'am. Energy is saved of the kids, and because of that my kids are able to do 2 extracurricular activities, and we are making sure that they go down, they play, and in this extracurricular activities they go down, do a lot of physical activities, they interact with their friends and everything. So that is sort of taken care of. And like what are actually what we have convinced ourselves is like, as a parents, what do we want? Like kids to get educated, and that is fulfilled. And shifting is not, we are not actually right now thinking about it. If everything is sorted, ma'am, as the board and everything will be, we are more happier to stay back.
So, you just mentioned about the peer pressure, and we see it all the time. This is a new concept. There has to be a change of thinking pedagogy completely for people to accept something like this. When you have that peer pressure on you, whether from your relatives or your friends, your neighbors, and then you might be coming back home and doing that compare and contrast of your child with your children going to an offline school.
That's right.
What do you observe there?
I feel my kids are more interested in learning than theirs. That is what I feel, because they are not doing it because they have to sit and they have to attend the school. It's never like that. Until and unless they are not well, they are always happy to, they have never said that we are completely bored. Yes, sometimes they want vacation when their friends are getting vacation, and there is a lot of a difference between vacation timings in school and also at that time. Otherwise they are always they are willing to study, and they're okay. There is not too much of pressure, and that is why they are doing it very easily. And over there is a lot of pressure, and kids are running away from the studies. That's what I have seen. So
also you
and they are going for tuition also. Yes, this is very important thing. They're going for tuitions. Their parents have to keep a lot of track of a lot of things, which here I think is very much sorted, because kids are doing everything by their own.
So I think the fact that's coming from a parent himself, herself, is that the child doesn't have to go tuition is a big breather for me. For the whole organization, for the whole school management, everybody, because I think we defy the purpose of a school if we have to send a child for tuition, because that is something patently wrong with the way we are teaching in the school. It can be one concept that I don't understand, and then a teacher should be able to help the child to understand that concept, in the way that child will perceive it better. Right. If I have to just say that, okay, I don't understand this subject in school, being taught by a particular teacher, and I have to go for tuition, then I feel that as a system we fail.
Right.
So much of an extra burden on parents, especially. I look at the fee structures and I feel we would have completed our whole education in the frame of a child doing maybe 4-5 years of education at this point of time in good school, right?
Yes, definitely.
You did mention about 2 things that I would like to ask you. One, you did mention about the fee that was really high in the school where children were going. And we have a comparatively very structured fee wherein we are not very heavy on pocket for our parents, and we want to remain like that. Has that somewhere helped you or the family or the children?
Definitely, ma'am. Definitely. Of course, we are saving, that extra money of transportation, uniforms, and PT uniform. There are a lot of things. One important thing which is taken care by Cyboard is they are giving the books also, which is like, see, we have 3 daughters, so we know how much we used to pay in the month of June. It was like a big, huge amount shelling out of our pockets, because the books itself used to cost like 7 to 8 thousand per child. So it was very heavy for us. So that has also been taken care. So I feel, yeah, it's quite, and if it stays reasonable, we will be more happy always.
It will,
Yeah,
it will, because the intent is not to become a school where you have to spend all the money out of your pockets. The
that's right.
intent is that our philosophy, our vision says that good education, in fact, the
Hmm.
best quality education can be delivered at affordable prices for the parents. See, what you
Correct.
have to remember is for us, when we calculate and say that, what should be the fee structure and stuff like that, the first biggest component that we have to keep in mind is our teachers.
Correct. Yes.
But at the end of the day, for a school, it's a teacher that's a pillar of the school. And if you take teachers who can't perform that well, or who do not have that subject knowledge, or you bring them down to, while you were discussing with me and you said, I don't know why so many teachers change in offline schools. It's not that teachers have never changed in our schools. We do have a change here or there, but we never had that change because of the fact that they had to leave for a hike in salary. It's
Yeah.
very important that when you take teachers, you take them on those salaries wherein they will be comfortable to work, because it's not a half day job. uh, you
That's
know
right.
People always say teaching is half day job. I don't know. My teachers work till 5 in the evening every day from
Mhm.
8:30 a.m. in the morning. It's
Right.
the it's the same as corporates working at 9:30, 10 to 6:37. So it's the same working
Right.
hours. So
Yes.
that's like a huge thing for us. So it's always going to remain that, for
Yeah.
sure. You did mention that all the three kids are going for extracurricular activities in the evening. How are they able to manage the time right now?
Uh, so they have karate. So it is on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, thrice in a week. So it's like intensive physical workout. And the sir comes in our clubhouse, society only. So 6:30 to 7:30 in the evening. Once they finish with their school, they'll complete their homework. They'll rest a bit, watch TV, and then they get ready and they go for karate. And after coming home back, they'll do little of practice and again go back, play for some time. While sleeping, if their homework is remaining, they'll complete the homework and they'll sleep. You know, the thing is, that's what I'm saying, ma'am. Once the traveling time is saved, traffic is saved, kids are left with a lot of energy to do other things. And even when the fees is little less, even we are left with some money to put them into extracurricular activities.
Right. No, I completely understand that, because I believe. Okay, now let me just ask you this: because they are going for extracurricular activities, you have been able to save time, energy, money, all the three things for the kids. Going to these extracurricular activities and learning from professionals, at the right age, what is that physical ability differences that you have been able to see in your children, and have they have developed their own social network also because of this?
Definitely, ma'am. See, it depends on the activity which you're doing. Now they are doing karate, so they've become very strong and very focused, and that has helped them in their studies, also because they are doing something different. So when they come back to studies, they are more refreshed, and attitude change and strength is like, my children's body is now quite strong, that even if, I can feel it. If you sometimes, sort of do little bit of, uh, try to show your strength, when they come back, I can feel the strength. Like, no, I cannot handle it now, especially my elder one. She's like, Mama, now don't, please, you don't try that otherwise. So it's like they've become really strong, touchwood. And even I have twins, ma'am, actually. So they were like, they were healthy twins right from childhood, but still, compared to my elder one, they were little, what do you say, little thinner, you know. And in that also, one twin is more thinner than the other one. She's always strong and healthy, but still, thinner. But now the thinner one, Saraswati, and she's the most, what do you say, strongest in karate. And she is, now you won't believe, but they have fights and all, they don't touch each other, but they have fights, and she is actually defeating bigger children.
Wow.
So this is the difference, because they are taking it so seriously, they enjoy doing it. I think whatever kids enjoy, they do it very nicely. So
Absolutely.
this is the huge change. And I think that is because they are going for the online school, they are able to do some, because now it is just not about education, it is about extracurricular activities also, because from where you will get the chance and from where the kids will develop their career, you never know. So
Absolutely. I think that whole scenario of saying that kids have to be just engineers and doctors and teachers has completely changed the number of avenues, opportunities that we'll have in front of us, and the way the world is changing and the way we envision it 15 years, 10, 15 years ahead of us, when our children will be actually in the place to go for work. I look at my children for my school, I would love if they are edupreneurs. I would love them to be entrepreneurs, because, and that is something we are very closely monitoring, and we want to bring entrepreneurship to our children in the coming session. So we are starting with a lot of master sessions in the next year, which are going to be small capsule sessions for children for like only 2.5 months. That's all. We don't want to make it very heavy for them. We don't want to make it boring for them. We rather want it to stay very interactive. So we are planning to bring the first most important thing that we believe is something left out by everybody in this world, is financial literacy for children. And we want to bring it down for the coming session. So we are preparing for the next session. Simultaneously, everything has started, and we are really bringing in professional development, we are bringing in public speaking skills, we are bringing in financial literacy, we are bringing in entrepreneurship for our children in the coming session. And they will be very small 2.5 month models on which they're going to work, but they will get exposed to it completely. And then we will actually give them opportunity in the consecutive years to pick up what they want to learn more on.
Okay.
So the next year is just going to be the trailer for them, so that they get exposed to what they should be thinking. We want to now, our aim for the coming year is we want to aim at let them become big thinkers, thinking out of the box. Because ideally they should have the ability in the last 2.5, 3 years that we have worked with them to say that I can get up and I can just pick up this pencil and sell to you. And that's because at the end of the day they have to fetch for themselves, and this is what we need to start thinking 10 years before if we want successful kids to come ahead. So and these are many of ideas that I actually keep on getting while talking to parents, because that's, I think it's like a collaborative effort that's going to work around. I would also like to know one thing, because of your children being with us for last 3 years, there's a lot of thought behind saying that when children are exposed to screen, they will have weak eyesight or their health will deteriorate. What is your opinion about it?
Yeah, actually, we did not, find any difference. I mean, we did not find any difficulty with their eyes or something like that for now. But we make sure that the kids, when they have break of 10 minutes, they get up and they are little off the screen, and they are relaxing a bit, relaxing in the sense they are looking outside and everything, and they again come back. And we make sure that the screen time is little lesser. We don't give them mobiles at all, because we have already told them that you're already into online school and you're already exposed to the screen. So make sure that you go down, play, but please don't be on mobile and TV. And if TV is still fine, ma'am, but in mobile, it is much harmful. TV, you are sitting little away and you can watch it. So sometimes it's fine. I think you have to balance a bit. Of course, screen is little problem for your eyes and everything, but then if you do little bit of eye exercise, sometimes I think even the school is conducting eye exercises, and they are now they are also making kids do a little bit of physical exercise in between, that I have seen. And yes, the 10 minutes break, you have to utilize it and make sure that your kid is not, in front of screen, and they should get this, little break from screen for 10 minutes at least. They should be out of the screen. So this is something which you have to put habit, and I think it should be fine. Because as it is, ma'am, I think even if the school is there, most of the kids are always on their mobiles or playing some games. So it's not like that we thought about this. But then we thought that it's not like that the kids will be completely out of screen if they go for offline. Not at all. Because some of their friends will be having mobile during, because I've seen people messaging nowadays, kids messaging each other, playing some games in the school also. So screenage, which is like you have to self-implied compulsion you have to make, I think that is so I think it should be fine.
So most of the offline schools at this point of time do have the need for children to carry gadgets with them. So if you look at a lot of offline schools, they are either working on laptops, tabs, or something of the
Yes, right.
And what happens typically, what I see as an administrator, I'm sure you must have observed, these children travel, they use that device in the school, come back with the device. So their bags are particularly heavier than they should be. And then while coming back, they say that मैं पूरे दिन school में पढ़ के आया हूँ, so I again need the device. So the whole purpose of defeat, that says that take away the device from children just gets defeated. Also, we will have to understand that we will have our children know over the time how much of device usage is correct for them. When we were envisioning the school and when we went and we met a lot of doctors and practitioners, and so the one thing that came to us, because we also don't want to play with anybody's future here. After all, they are kids and they're the next generation for us. They said it's not only about the screen time that actually is a problem with your eyesight. There are a lot many factors. There are hereditary factors, there are genetic factors, a lot of it that confuse. And if a child is playing dedicatedly every day 2 to 2.5 hours, he will always be in a better health status. So for us, while we envisioned this and when we kept those 10-15 minutes break, it was kept with a lot of thought, because there were feedbacks that came to us and they told us that take away the breaks, because when the child goes in the break, he doesn't come back on time. And I actually got a bit adamant and I said, I'm not going to take away the break, because the intention of the break is that the child moves away from the screen.
Correct. Yes.
And I'm really glad that kids are doing that, because once they move away the screen, the whole they are away to do something where they are either going to washroom, looking around, running after each other, drinking water, but they're off the screen. That's what we kind of intended to bring on place. So I'm glad to know, because that's also a concern that we want to be sure of, that children are not affected by any means over there. Anything that you would like to suggest us, something that you look forward to and you want the school to bring on the plate so that we can work on it collaboratively?
I think, ma'am, as we already discussed, that as a parent, now one of my child is in higher standard. So first thing, science experiments, as I told you, if you can, arrange those in the vicinity and or in offline schools, that would be great. And little bit of sports. Now, I don't know how you're going to manage. And if we can meet up once a year, if kids, I think we do have picnics and all.
Yeah. Our concern with meetups is actually for the science and for sports is something that we are regularly working at, and we really want to bring it in place. We are already in touch with some of the sports academies, and we want to bring those sports academies to our children, to our parents, and say that these are the sports academies where children can go around your area and learn sports from, experts. And because they will be collaborating with school, you will also get good prizes in terms of fees to pay over there. For picnics, we have been, very frankly, we have been struggling a bit. The reason is that even recently, if you look at it, we had a experience for children where we took them for a 3D movie. It was
Yeah,
Trolls
yeah.
planned, and the turnout of parents was so low from
Mm-hmm.
Pune and Mumbai, and we had to cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, for two children, a teacher flying down from Delhi and then doing that was not sensible enough. So we really want to understand that if in case parents can become volunteers for us for a day and say that yes, their children coming, and parents bring in together, and we do that. But for us right now, trust me, the problem of the fact that we don't get too many rewards back is concerning.
Right,
We
right,
think why we could do it in Delhi NCR because there were more children coming back to us.
right,
And
right.
that's the problem with. I think we have been having this problem with Pune. We have been having this problem with Mumbai. We also have been having this problem with Bangalore lately. So either we take a call that we do it only for 2-3 children, you
Mm-hmm.
know, or we just want. So I think as a parent community, it's going to be very important that parents also suggest each other and say that it's high time that we all meet in person. And for
Right,
us, the intention is not only to bring down children together, it's also the parents meeting each other, because
right.
um, it has to be an open forum. We can't
Mm-hmm.
see faces from each other. So when the parents meet each other, in fact, on all those places, we say that you stay here or be with us, or maybe you all can be together as parents for some time. You can discuss so many things with each other that can bring out the best in children later,
Right,
city
right.
life and
Yeah.
all of that. So that has been a concern for us. And if you can help us reach out to more parents and understand that this is important, we will be more than happy to go ahead. We wanted to give this 3D experience to children. It was lovely in the places that we could do. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, we had to cancel this again for
Oh,
Pune
yeah,
and
understood.
Mumbai. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, actually, I was thinking that once in a year, if you can invite all your children, I mean, at the center place somewhere, and if you can have a 2 days picnic or something like that, yeah. So I think many of us will turn up. I think so because it will be like 2 days, and if you can invite family also or just kids, anything would do. Any one guardian with them,
Yeah.
because it
So
will be a
ideally,
nice.
when we envision this, and even now in our plan in the longer run, is that we are going to have these physical camping programs with children and
Mhm.
parents. Now these are going to survive for literally 3 to 4 days, because these are not going to be like temporary picnics. These are going to
Mm.
be the places where they are going to actually have sports activities for 3 4 days, wherein we will get the trainers, and we would love our children to experience rock climbing. We would love our children to do just do the rope handling. We will love our children to do mountain climbings, and we want to bring them to those kind of places where they can actually have adventure sports.
Right, right, yeah.
And we but the only concern here, remember, for us is when we have started doing it in a smaller context of a picnic, the turnout is so low for us that we don't know that if we plan it, like for example, I just give you a small example. We have a beautiful place near Jaipur in name of Sariska, where they have adventure camps, right?
Mhm.
Now, we would love our children, to get down to Jaipur and bring them all to that adventure camp and stay there for 5 days or 4 days, and experience nature and adventure activities, and do all of that. uh, First, parents will have to understand. They will fall, they will trip, they will hurt themselves.
That's
They are camping, so camps have bunkers and beds, and there will be mosquitoes, and all of that will happen, and that's where they learn survival.
correct.
That's
Yeah,
where they
yeah.
learn the real skills of life. So for us, we are contemplating, we are always thinking on it. That's always been on plan. But yes, if you're suggesting this, I think let's roll it down once. Let's
Yeah,
see what's the kind of entries that we get from the parents,
that's
and maybe
right.
then we
Yeah.
can take a call on it.
Yes,
One
yes.
thing more that can help us over here is that this year, so if you lately look at Saraswati and their portals, you will see there is something called as Cyboard Social written on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
portal.
yeah.
CY
Yes,
Social.
yes.
So we have opened the chat community to our children. Now this is I will say a fraction of Facebook developed by Cyboard for their own children. So now the children can see blogs there. They can write their own blogs, they can do posts, they can chat. We will be putting a lot of interesting science facts over there. Children will be able to make their own groups, do video calls, video chats with each other. We also have a provision wherein children will be able to now do full-fledged functions on there because it has a virtual tour system as well. Yeah, so you can be or live on the system there. So that is also going to help because we are planning from coming session. We have class wise celebrations that wherein we bring the whole grade 7, whole grade 6, or maybe all of them together, and we have smaller functions to begin with. We want this the coming session. We are also planning to have houses, so they will have the sense of inter-house competitions happening. So we are planning a lot, like every year, to add as much as we can. But yes, we'll definitely have a webinar with parents, and we will apprise them on all of this, that what is going to happen in the next session. But yes, I will really keep in mind, and we will.
Yes,
I will definitely try to let's put it on the platter. Let's see what's the feedback that we get out of it. But I will definitely try to do that.
Yeah. So if we keep one trip once a year, it would be great because they'll look forward to it, ma'am. Because if they meet all their teachers, especially, they'll be very happy, and throughout the year they'll have this in mind. And even if you tell us in advance, even we will have that much of money, saved. It would be like a family trip if the family is involved, or otherwise kids will enjoy themselves. That is not an issue.
People love it to be with the family. Anyway, if we are making it central, we know parents will have to come to drop their kids, right?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
It's not possible that the parents drop them and go to some other world and then come again after 3 days. So parents will have to be there for sure.
Yeah.
But I think we will counsel the parents separately to let them know that children have to be there on their own for some time for the next 3 days, and let the teacher overtake the whole responsibility there. But we definitely would. I would really put it on the platter. I'll have a word with the management, and we would really like to see if we can do that. Let's see what's the kind of response that we get.
Yeah. Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Anything else, Vispute? Anything else?
For now, it's going fine, ma'am. Yeah, one. Now you would say even annual day if you can manage during those time only. So it would be great, if they prepared something, if the teachers wants to teach something, or if they prepare something of their own, and if they're going to perform there, it's kind of it will be like an annual day. I don't want them to miss anything which offline school has. And later, because ma'am, even this thing we think that education wise it's fine, but then school is something, when we think about it, we think about everything. We think about annual days, we think about sports day, we think about those meetings, send-offs, a lot of things, ma'am. Yeah. So we do not want our kids to miss that, because later when they'll discuss this with their friends, they should not feel that oh god, we missed on this because our parents enrolled us for the online school. So this is something which I always think about this, ma'am, because mothers are they have to face a lot of brunt later, because they will not talk so much to their father, but for mother they can blame very easily. So I don't want to get blamed. So if you can, I know there are limitations, but still if we can manage something like that, it would be great.
So I'll definitely put this word across, and we will really think what is the most feasible manner to do this. Maybe smaller version of it in the coming session, bigger version of it in the next session to kind of scale it up. But yes, as far as functions are concerned, that will definitely happen in the coming year. The platform that we have made is going to say it's going to be a blessing for our children, because now we want to bring a lot to them about science in the real sense. We want them to think and ignite. Like yesterday only, we were doing a small session with one of our kids, and we asked them, why do you think it is important for us to go in universe? What is this all hype about reaching the moon? How has it helped us? And that really trickled the mind for the kids. They said, we
Right.
have made a name for ourselves, we are all over the globe and all of that. I said, fine, but how has it helped us? How has it helped us as people living on earth? Let's think about it. And that's when the minds triggered and they started googling on it, and then they realized that we have been able to see the earth from there, understanding the perspective of how the earth looks, how we have those black holes developing on the earth, what is the pollution that we see from top, what is the impact of it on the earth, what needs to do to save the earth. So it's not about making the name, it's about the science of it as to what we could see through that. There were a lot of things that we were discussing around, and we were talking about greenhouse effect, and and there were interesting ways. We were doing a small experiment wherein we told them about balancing and equilibrium. So we had a cup tied, the teacher had a cup tied to a string, and she said, okay, this is like a pendulum. If I drop it, what will happen? They said it's going to break very, very naturally, right? So she had then done a weight proportion of the cup and 14 times weight on the other side of the pendulum. And she dropped it and the cup did not break. And that's how we started teaching them about balancing and weight management. And now we want to bring all of that. And when the children see it, they learn it, they remember it better off. So, the platform that we have made is going to be for all this. Even when your children will be on that social, they will not be there. You will realize they will not be there only chit-chatting on stuff. They will come back to you with so much of things like, did you know, those general knowledge things that clear your mind, that it will become a place they would like to go back again and again. And also at the same point of time, because it has a live programming place where you can have live sessions, children will start having functions there.
Okay.
So, we will have, so what we plan is like grade 6, 7, 8 coming together, all the children performing in front of each other. So now they will get a sense of annual functions in a smaller sense in the coming time, so that even if we do not have to do it on the ground, we can still do it virtually. So we're thinking of all the ways and means. We're going to have a session with parents over some time, and we're going to introduce the Cyboard Social. We have already started training children on it. We are pushing it slow to them. As always, a policy, we do not want them to jump in the pool without knowing how to swim. So we're going to ensure that they grasp it over the time, and then they kind of pick it up, and so that they can use it the right way, But thank you so much, Vispute. It was wonderful having a word with you. And all the pointers that you have given, we'll definitely put it down with the management, and we'll try our level best to bring whatever we can on the plate for our children.
Yeah, we do have a high expectation from your school, ma'am, always. Great to be associated.
Great to have a word with you. Thank you, Vispute. Thank you. Take care. Thank you.
Yeah.